everyone. It's Thirsty Thursday. Who's in the house? The party started. It's time. It is time. And I'm looking for my lovelies. I'm on a lovely mission. Who is going to be the first one to say hello, good afternoon, or whatever the heck, whatever time frame you're on right now? I just see everyone kind of marching on in. There's my girl Denise. Yay! Hi, Denise. Good to see you. Welcome. Dawn's in the house. My girl Vanessa with all the hearts. Good to see everyone. Kathy, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. We're thirsty today. Anyone else? Joanne's in the house. Come on down. Hi, Catherine and Lizzie. You're all here. Gosh, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for joining me today. Oh my goodness, you know what I forgot? Goodness. I forgot my goodies. Where are they? Somewhere around here. I have a new batch of goodies for all of you who are sharing our videos. Thank you so much. Hey, Sarah. And there's our girl Amber, I think, and Jenny. And Jennifer is here. Good to see you all. Thank you again. Listen, we've been on a crusade lately. We have been on a crusade. We are, you know, my heart and your heart, we're together on this whole thing, aren't we? And that is that we want to bring our lovelies in. We know that where there's several of us here, there's a whole bunch of them out there who don't even know that we're around. Bring them in, you know? We need this. I don't know about you, but my heart is thirsty. My soul is hungry. I need my women. I need my community. I need like-minded women who lift each other up. I love that. I love that. So, anyway, today this whole format of this whole show is called the Daily Dish because we sit together and we dish daily. I'm off basically on Sundays. That's it. We get together and we dish daily because we're putting vibrancy back into your life. That's it. Vibrancy. Heart, mind, body, soul. Doesn't that feel good? It feels really good to me. And every day there's something new to discuss. There's new discoveries. And you know, if you're like me and you're spending some time reading, journaling, contemplating, meditating, praying, things come to you. And you get to write about this in your journals. I've been sharing a little bit about from Take Back Your Life journals. We have these available on the website. You can also get it digitally and have it forever and ever. Amen. I'm serious. That's at savingdinner.com/journal if you want to take a look at that. But I'm just telling you about this because what I have found is that on this daily journaling is profoundly soul changing. It is. It changes everything because it gives you a perspective. It brings you back to presence. It takes you out of the every single day garbage of just not really getting the juiciness out of life. We want vibrancy. Amen? Pinkies up. For those of you who are new, we pinky up when we're just in agreement with each other. This is what we do as a community. Anyway, just kind of a preview of what I've been thinking about, where I've been going with my journaling and the stuff that's had an impact on my heart. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about soul grabs. This is going to be an interesting topic. So we're going to get into the meat of the matter. This one came to me. Believe me, you know, weird things come to you in the midst of cleaning a toilet. Can you believe it? I was cleaning the bathroom downstairs and I thought, you know, that's kind of a soul grab. And I'll tell you what I was thinking about it later and why I came up with this. I don't know, it seems like a good term to me. So anyway, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out, and being one of those lovelies who shares our videos. Every day is a different topic. And you will see, when you start to see the replays, We actually have an intro and an outro to these videos coming. That will be starting shortly. But our whole thing is that we have structure. Structure is such a good thing. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed how structure holds up your house? Structure holds up everything. And I'm a big believer in structure. I'm a big believer in creating and being the architect of your life and your schedule, because that's what it all boils down to, because your schedule tells. Your schedule tells on you. Your schedule shows you where your time is being spent. And sometimes we have to get into the weeds and figure out, where did that time go? We have tools for all of that stuff, but right now we're going to be talking about Thirsty Thursday. This one I love. Our supplement of the week is Get Lean CLA, by the way. This stuff is really freaking amazing. Can I just tell you? Get Lean CLA has 2 studies that just came out not too long ago in this last year, talking about how taking CLA, and that's conjugated linoleic acid, helps to diminish belly fat and thigh fat. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Yes, please. Right? I take this every day. Fantastic stuff. And the studies are out on that. You can go into PubMed and go take a look at it. But if you buy 3 of these, we'll put the 4th one in your cart absolutely free. If you write ships free in the promo window when you're checking out, we will ship it to you free as well, as long as you live here in the United States. And if you decide, hey, yeah, that's a great idea, I'm going to get that, and I'm going to get the brand new skincare. Isn't this skincare fab? You can find out all about the skincare. We have 3 products. We've got the Deep Moisture Serum, and this stuff, by the way, also works on dark spots. So if you have melasma or brown spots on your face, this helps to fade them over time. Not tomorrow, but over time. But it also has a lot of just nourishment in. The Deep Moisture Cream is fabulous. I mix it with the Deep Moisture Serum and just lather it and on my neck as well. And then this is eye, neck, and lip cream, because you want to put this on right here, pat, 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 because we have a tendency from using all those straws, and then up the neck we go. Lovely stuff. It's not greasy. It's not smelly. Jennifer got hers yesterday, and yes, you should be excited. It's going to be a blast. You're going to love this stuff. So if you decide to buy the skincare trio, you can go to savingdinner.com/trio. And if you buy the supplement of the week, which you should, because this is how you get all of our supplements at a screaming great deal, we'll throw this in as well. Look at that. Your pinky's up cup, because you want to join your sisters. Pinky's up. Skincare trio. All the information you want is on savingdinner.com/trio. It's all there. Our quote of the week is right here. Look at this. Where focus goes, energy flows. And how about that? Have you noticed how true that is? Where your focus goes, that's where your energy also goes. That's where you put it. That's where you put it. And when your energy is out there flowing over all this negativity and all this putrid garbage in your life that you don't want, have a check. Check yourself. Where are you going? What are you thinking about? Well, right here, this will kind of give you one clue. I love that quote. That's Tony Robbins for you. Let's see. What else do I have to tell you about? Oh, we also have, if you go to savingdinner.com/cruise, you can get our big conference that we did all day Saturday last week. Marla and I brought it home, didn't we? For those of you who were there, you know what that was about? That was all about the holidays, because we want you to have the best holidays. And let's just say this, COVID's kind of put a dent in everybody's plans. For the last 6 months, we're all COVID weary. I mean, there's no kidding. But we can still do things that we want to do as families. We can still have traditions. We can still have a lovely time with our holidays. And that's what this whole thing was about. So check it out, would you? Thank you. Sarah said the cruise was awesome. It's the whole thing is so that you can cruise through the holidays and not have a meltdown anymore. Because, that was the way I did my holidays when my kids were younger. They were just a big mash of, You know, I'm so done with that. Give it up. Give it up. So I've told you about everything. Also the hydration, we are doing the hydration challenge next week. Who is in? It's all about getting hydrated. And I have some information, education for you if you want to check it out at savingdinner.com/station. Quick little webinar that I did, just kind of sharing how we also have to be thinking about electrolytes and fiber when we're thinking about how we hydrate, and also how to set up a hydration station. We need that. You know, you get your hydration under control, you'll be really amazed at what happens with your skin, all those fine lines that you thought just you couldn't cream away. Listen, I will tell you, skincare on the outside, really important, but also what's going on the inside. You got to collagen load, you got to do a little fasting, you got to hydrate, get sleep. Oh, watch what happens. Your skincare suddenly looks so much better. I have with the collagen challenge, I've got a slide that I show you my skin from 7 years ago versus today. And 7 years ago, you know, I was 55 years old. And at 62, my skin looks better today than it did 7 years ago. Who knew? You know, I'll take that. Thank you, collagen. You're doing a number. So today we're going to be talking about Thirsty Thursday. You know, Thirsty Thursday were things that we're just thirsty for, things that we want in our lives, things that we're just, our souls are aching. And I told you, I had kind of a little sparkle in my head when I was thinking about, you know, it's important to stay true to ourselves. It's important to stay true to the things that we believe and not, you know, throw the balance off by saying, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, and then do something that's completely counter to that. When we do that, we experience what I'm calling now a soul grab, because that means that we're being untrue to ourselves. And a soul grab just, it dings us in the heart. It dings us and it makes us feel bad. And it makes us feel like we're failures. We can't do anything right. And you know, we get into that whole, oh, it's just too hard. It's just too overwhelming. It's just, you know, struggle bus, blah, blah, blah. It's a soul grab is what it is. When we conform and we compromise away our lives, we're giving the world an opportunity to grab at our soul, to take a little piece. It's like we've opened ourselves up to the world to have a buffet on our expense, you know? When we're straight and strong and true to what is true for us and the life that we're trying to create and the life that we're building, then the world doesn't have that opportunity to come and take a little piece. The world doesn't have an opportunity to just come into your house and take away your time and grab your soul like that, because you've been stayed true to yourself. Do you feel the difference in how that feels? Do you ever feel like everything is just out and exposed and everybody's just having at you? You almost feel like roadkill half the time, you know, where, you know, we were driving down the road the other day and there's this big old vulture just going to town on this rabbit. And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, sometimes I just feel like that rabbit, you know? There's just so much going on, and there's an opportunistic critter there. We don't want that. We don't want our souls being grabbed. So a grab is to seize suddenly and roughly. Suddenly and roughly. And we've all experienced this. As mothers, we experience this. You know, we have moments where, you know, we do have to drop everything that we are doing. As caregivers to elderly parents, we do have to drop everything with what we're doing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about everybody else in the world. When we have people in our lives that demand our time and demand that we shift our you know, attention, that's because we're purposeful, loving parents, purposeful, loving children, purposeful and loving caregivers. This is what we do. And it's disruptive, it's difficult, but it's necessary. And it's good work. It is good work. That is not what I'm talking about when I'm talking about soul grabs. I'm talking about the things that just come in and say, hey, you know, I know you were planning on working on whatever it is that you're planning on working on, but how about we go a little bit longer on Instagram? What do you say, huh? Or perhaps another Netflix. Oh, one more episode. Let's binge watch. Or yeah, and while you're at it, let's make some popcorn. And while you're at it, can you grab me a beer? And while you're at it, and we just get rid of all the things that we were strongly standing for just last week. It all goes by the wayside. And then there's the guilt, and then there's all of that stuff. But listen, when we stay true and faithful, there is less and less soul grabs in our lives. And there's more and more strength inside, and there's more and more confirmations that you're on the right track. Because you get the feedback of what you're doing. You get the feedback and the feeling and the strength and the conviction that you're on the right path. Have you felt that before? Pinkies up, ladies. This is this protection that we have, this mama bear protective devices that we have with our families, we need to have with our own souls, with our own time, with our own lives. Have that mama bear instinct with yourself. And that keeps us on the right path. We're focused, we're unbending, we're diligent, we're believing because we're seeing. Have you noticed that? Have you seen that happen in your own life? That each step in that direction has given you just that little aha, yes indeed, yes I can do this. And you see the warrior in you come up. You see the guardian in you come up. And you see the leader in you come up. And your kids are seeing a whole different parent. Your family's seeing it. And it's not just in the size, the new jeans that you're wearing. It's also in the way you feel about yourself. It's in the way that you're lifting up your own community. It's in the way that you're presenting to the world. You're a whole different woman. You get to create that. You get to create that because our time is a reflection of what's important to us, how we spend it. It's currency. It's our life's currency. So when you're focused and unbending and diligent and believing, you're doing this for yourself. You're doing it for your dreams. You're doing things on purpose. And you're seeing a whole new destiny ahead of yourself that you hadn't seen before. This is what happens when we go that direction. Isn't this so good? I love that. Because your commitment now is a stunning contrast to the way you used to be. Because the way you used to be, you were a sitting duck. Whoever picked up the phone and said, hey, can you come and volunteer tonight and do X, Y, and Z for us? Or hey, how about you come and you paint the church for us? Or how about you come and pick up my kids? Or how about you come down during rush hour and pick me up because I have a flat tire when they have AA, AAA, or whatever. Not to stop us from being a good deed doer, but on the other hand, you're not everybody's lifeline and not everybody's savior. Maybe you used to be, but not anymore. The way you used to be, maybe giving up and believing the lies of what everybody else said about what needs to be, what was important. The lies of a true and faithful life. What are the lies of the truth? What is the truth of a true and faithful life? The truth of a true and faithful life is staying true to what you know works for you and what doesn't. You have to differentiate between those two. You have to be dedicated to the purpose of your call on your life. And when we do that, different things show up. It's black and white suddenly. No, I can't do that. Sorry. The painting is going to have to go to someone else. I know a contractor you might want to call. We've volunteered our lives away, haven't we? I mean, I know I did. I did everything. I did it did it for church. I did it for school, for homeschool groups. I did it for everything. And meanwhile, my whole life was imploding. My house was falling apart. My kids were falling apart. I was constantly on the phone. And it didn't feel good, by the way. I thought I could volunteer myself into, sainthood or something. But it wasn't purposeful. My purpose at that time was to raise my children and to school them and to be the very best that I could be. And when I finally started to get that back a little bit, by starting to get my house in order, things started to fall into place. What I do know that is now where we are today, as we're looking at where we are, obviously, in this 2020, is that a wasted life, wasted time is a wasted life. Have you noticed that? Wasted time is a wasted life. When somebody says, I'm, just sitting here wasting time, or just burning, wasting time, just waiting for something or whatever, and not doing anything. It doesn't mean you have to be doing all the time, but sometimes you can be. Sometimes you can be doing something with your time instead of sitting in a doctor's office reading old magazines that, People magazines with a bunch of celebrity gossip. Maybe you're writing in your journal. Maybe you're listening to a podcast that you've always wanted to hear. Maybe you're doing something else that is creating the life you want, instead of just allowing the time to be frittered away for nothing. When we're complaining, directionless, passionless, and afraid, we're sitting in the doctor's office with an old dirty People magazine on our laps. But when we have direction, we're diligent. And we figure out ways to redeem the time, because that's all we've got right then and there. That could be the last hour of your life. You could get knocked over by a bus. What if it was spent in a way that was meaningful? Then you feel better about yourself, don't you? And because that's how it all is. This is the circle. This is how it works. How your time is spent is a reflection on what's important to you. And it's a reflection on the quality of your life. Yikes. Yeah, that's where we need to go. So we need to get rid of, if we have no intentions, if we have no goals, no visions, and a whole lot of whining in our lives, we have excuses, struggle buses, and all that other kind of stuff, and a lack of understanding that life requires a different direction, then we're going to just be at the end of our lives just really disheartened and sad. And it's unnecessary, because we can take the bull by the horns, the reins, whatever you want to say, and make a different decision and go a different direction. We are not trees. We are not planted in one place. We can pick it up and go. We can say, no, that's enough of that. I want this instead. It takes a minute. It takes a lot of deliberate movement in a different direction. And sometimes we feel like we're fighting against the tide or whatever, but it is absolutely possible. We can be diligent and fashioned from desire to be purposeful and of good use, the hands and feet of God Himself, because He puts everyone on this earth for a purpose of helping others. Not giving ourselves away, but helping others. And you can take a look in your life and find the evidence of that. If you were helping an elderly parent, you've got a purpose. If you are helping children that have special needs, you have a purpose. And you are the one chosen to do this good work. And when you do it with a heart that understands that you are the hands and feet of God, and that this is good work, and you were chosen for this work, your purpose becomes that much more shiny, and that much more beautiful, and that much more purposeful, and that much more meaningful. Your heart expands to fill the task ahead of you. Do you feel that? Do you feel what that feels like in your beautiful self? It's so amazing what happens. So we have to solemnly promise to reclaim our time. We do. We can't give up our time the way we do. We can't give up our schedules. We can't give up our agendas. But what we need to do is we need to assess them, and we need to refine them and redefine them and make them so that they fit what we are doing at this time. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Wherever you are in your life, it doesn't mean you're going to be there in 5 years or 10 years or whatever. It's now. It's the now. I'm not raising children anymore. I'm loving them from afar. I mean, they're literally on the other side of the country, but I can still love them. I can still give them things from my heart that I always have, and I can still pray for them daily. I can still keep them in my life. You know what I'm talking about. It's a difference, though. There's a difference. 15, 20 years ago, it was a whole different story. Where I am today. Where I was in 2015, I was taking care of a very ill mother. I was her caregiver. And there was a very different focus in my life. But the whole thing is that we have purpose, and there are people placed in our lives that need our very best. And even if they disrupt our concentration or what it is that we're trying to do or whatever, it is still good, purposeful work from God himself. And when you do that and you do it with that kind of a heart, it changes the very texture of the way you do things. And it makes it joyful work. Joyful. That just changes everything. You're not trapped by perfectionism then, because perfectionism is a big fat trap. That's what it is. It makes us compare ourselves to others. It makes us take the joy out of our lives. It makes us look at things and say, well, of course she has it easy. It makes us those women, that's a really bad use of energy. Remember, if that's your focus, that's where your energy is going to go. And if you focus on this kind of garbage, you're not going to find the joy in everyday life, because it's there. It's there even when you're cleaning a toilet. It's there when you're sorting dirty laundry. And you get to do laundry for these people. God put them in your life. What a joy. What a delight. What an opportunity. What a privilege. This is an excellent life. This is purposeful living. This is a life that has meaning and vibrancy if you only will extract it from every single task on your list, and you're just very careful of what's coming into your life. Because even if it's mundane and you're changing, the PP sheets for the 5th time this week, even if it's difficult and your toddler's throwing a bowl across the room, even if your father is telling you the story that you've heard 18 times already today, you can choose at that moment to have joy in seeing their faces. Have joy in knowing that these were the loving hands that loved you when you were a child. And this is the loving parent that you can be to that toddler who's just overloaded and can barely handle things. You've got the capacity to handle it. Your toddler doesn't. And when we have that kind of understanding, that empathy and that beautiful self inside of us grows. It grows. And we become the hands and the feet of God, because he's put us on this earth for that purpose. I want you to see this, and I want you to have tears. I want you to just feel how tender that is. What a tender, loving God we have, who would give us such a task to be able to be that woman, that caring woman in charge of this elderly parent, in charge of these children, all there on purpose for you to have purpose. How about that? Knowing that there are always going to be something to try to take you away from your life, try to take you away from your purpose, doesn't need to stop you. It just needs to make you that much more diligent in guarding your time. Guarding your time. Guarding your time, because your time is your life. And when you guard that, and even when you're caught up in all the stuff that you have to do, the unpleasant tasks, if you can look inside of yourself and understand every single day that this blessing, this blessed privilege that you have to take care of these people is going to absolutely change the whole trajectory of their lives, that you're shaping little humans to be responsible adults, that you have the blessed opportunity to be with your parent for these last days of their lives and to love them up, you'll never be the same. It is a privilege. It is an opportunity. And every day we can do that. So if your alignment assignment today is this, I want you to write the truth about yourself. I want you to write it. What you love, what brings you joy, how you help others, these people that I'm talking about, and look for the plumb line. There's always a plumb line of what's there. Because you know what you're going to see? Even if you're saying to yourself, I don't understand what my purpose is, but knowing that your purpose is from God to help others, you will see some stuff start to come together. Because if you're looking for it, it will come in and the answers will be there. Promise. Absolute promise. So start doing that. The second thing is, if you ever felt the despair of a soul grab, it's time to correct. Because what a soul grab is when we are saying one thing and doing something else. When we're talking about, eating healthy and then snarfing Doritos in the closet, there's a soul grab there. So let's get our lives in continuity with the things that we believe. Do what we believe. Our schedule should reflect it. Our lives should reflect it. Our families should reflect it. Everything about us. That's the evidence that you're seeking to put together. And then the third thing is write out your intentions to stay true. And stop giving up so easily on yourself. Pinkies up. We don't quit on ourselves. Just because you haven't gotten it down, because your schedule's a little wonky, it's not a reason to give up. It's a reason to correct. That's it. How about that? And when we correct these things, we start to feel better about it. We start to see, aha, there's a gap there. I can fix that. It's that simple. But when we're aware of our lives and we're standing up and being true to who we are and being true to what we say and following through on that, everything starts to gel. Everything starts to come together. And we become the women that we want to be. Vibrant. Excited about our lives. Purposeful. Heart, mind, body, soul. That's it. That's all there is to it. So I'm inviting you to this whole powwow to get into the weeds a little bit, if you will, into your life if you need to. And if you see things that are just out of congruency, for heaven's sakes, correct that. And even if you're in the darkest places of just feeling a little overwhelmed with demanding toddlers or elderly parents that are difficult or whatever it is, remember that you've been called on purpose for such a time as this, and it's a privilege. And pray through it, because God will see you through. He will see you through the rough times, and He will hold you in the palm of His hand. You're the apple of His eye. Don't you ever forget that. He loves you that much. And I appreciate you so much being here, and I appreciate the fact that you share this and that we come together as a community and we lift each other up. Bless you. Bless you, all you caregivers. Bless you, you mamas. Bless you all who give up a part of yourself for the sake of others. This is good work you're doing. And I'm in love with who you are, and I appreciate you so greatly. Thank you so much for joining me today. Share this video if it meant something to you. Share it publicly. We've got little gifts we've been giving out, and I promise you, I'll have it for you tomorrow so that you can see. Don't forget tomorrow's Q&A, so send in your questions to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday in that subject line. And don't forget about all the other stuff that we've got going on. I love you guys and appreciate you. Peace be with you. Bye.